Ladies and gentlemen, my name is IndustrialFaith. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Factorio 4X, your 15-minute Factorio fix. This is Season 3, Episode 7. Now, as we left our hero last time, we were in the midst of a power shortage. And yes, it's true, we're in the midst of a power shortage. We weren't getting enough coal fed to the boilers. So luckily, I happen to be in the habit of carrying around several hundred pieces of coal. No, it's just an accident, really. But I was carrying around a bunch of coal, and so now I am trying to figure out a way to feed more coal into everything. And actually, the problem isn't really that I don't have enough coal. That's just, as I was saying, you find one thing, it's a symptom of something else. The symptom is actually I'm not making enough power, period. I'm just not. So I actually need to make a lot more. It's a good thing that I'm not on laser power because I'm not making enough power. I would use all the power on my lasers and the factory would slow down and run down. So, we are going to go on a mad power building spree. Because we have to, really. I mean, it's just the way it is. And we're all running here. I have to build more steam engines. And at some point, I'm going to realize that I'm never going to use that little patch of copper, even though I said I wouldn't, even though I said I wouldn't cover it up. I don't need it. I actually have like I said, I have another large spot of copper up north if I need it. Now, one of the ways I'm helping keep my power needs down is, if you notice, I'm not doing research. It keeps the labs from running, which means if any of the science is backed up, it's not going to unback up, for lack of a better word. So I have gotten the advanced oil processing, so I can go ahead and be much more efficient here. And it's going to be a little weird here because even though I'm hooking the water up, it still thinks there's petroleum in there. And this is because I haven't set the other two machines to the advanced recipe yet. And now it's going, oh. Now one of them isn't running because it doesn't like, for some reason, because I didn't replace the pipe after I put, even though I connected water to it, there's still technically petroleum in the pipe, or crude oil, and it won't pull the crude oil out, which I find interesting, but that's how it works. So here's me just goofing around, getting more room for engines because for more room. And there we go. You can see blue is just, I'm not making enough blue, in my opinion. So, and I'll do this once more. Because red science labs, I believe, are 5 seconds. Green, I believe, are 12. And blue, I believe, are 15. And so that's sort of the ratio you have to look at. And again, need to do math. And here I'm just like, F it. I am going to make a bunch of them. And hopefully this'll deal. And once it works, I'm done. Because purple science is going to be ridiculously easy. It's going to be 2 assemblers and a chest. Whoa. Tough. So this should give me a nice, and here I'm looking at again, I'm cranking away, everything's running here. My gears weren't making for some reason. Again, I'm looking at iron, I'm like, oh man, iron is threadbare. We're getting wrecked on iron. I need to get better throughput. And so I need to finish making power. And I'm also thinking about radars for the mainland. I'm thinking about a lot of stuff in this episode. I normally only record 6 episodes at once, and that's 6 hours of Factorio. That's, believe it or not, it's kind of exhausting. Because you're using your brain a lot. It's not like, and it's very interesting to me how much you think when you're playing this game. And a lot of games are muscle memory and twitch instinct. I mean, most shooters are. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, don't be silly and think shooters will just twitch. No, shooters are a different type of game. It's like the bullet hell games, if you've ever played those. Basically, it's you against some big giant boss monster, and it shoots at any one point in time. You can have 50 to 100 to 200 projectiles on the screen all attacking you. And that uses an entirely different set of it uses an entirely different set of your brain and your muscles, and you have to be able to recognize patterns and adjust to them on the fly. If you're good at bullet hell games, there's probably some other skills you're very good at that aren't typical. Now here I'm going to start building. I need to start building. What do you call it? Red belts, because my throughput isn't enough in the slightest. I have got to do something about this. So I'm not going to be using yellow belts anymore. From here on out, it's pretty much just going to be red belts. And if I need yellow belt, I can go steal it from the green science. And so this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna be yoinking all the stuff necessary to make the Hoojimadoozies, this thing. And again, I don't do anything for this. Do I? No, I don't do anything for the splitters. I think. Do I ever do the red undergrounds? I don't think I do. But now I'm starting to look at electric furnaces, because at some point I'm going to realize that electric furnaces have a crafting rate of 2, where a regular furnace has a crafting rate of 1, meaning an electric furnace is twice as fast as a regular furnace. Even the steel furnaces have a crafting speed of 1, but I think the steel furnaces are more efficient with the coal, if that makes any sense. So here I'm going to start building power poles, because I'm starting to think ahead to going out and taking care of the locals, because they're getting a bit surly. Well, they'll be surly anyways, just planning ahead, thinking ahead. And again, I'm not worried about building a lot of these or fast. I'm just worried about building them so I have them. This is all about setting up for the phase where I leave. And one more phase after this is when I'm going to need to build, well, realistically, I'm going to need to start building railroad material. And that's where things get a little screwy with, I'm going to have to put stone on the bus, raw stone. And I think I mentioned that last episode, because I need more raw materials. This isn't going to do it. And here I'm looking at what do I need for electric furnaces, and I was kind of thinking, do I put something together? This is why I was thinking about stone in the first place, because I was, well, do I put baked stone on the bus, or stone bricks, baked stone? Baked stone. New from DiGiorno. And and here I'm trying to make sure and here I put in a balancer, because I'm like, do I have enough? Or the alternate is you can just flip those things around, and that'll help fill up the other side, but whatever. So again, I need more power. I'm trying to make it so that any time I build something, I put more power together. And here I'm just grabbing more stone, because I'm still making landfill, and that is just such an obnoxiously large stone deposit. I've seen bigger. I have seen bigger, but it's still pretty darn big for a stone deposit. I mean, wow. And now I'm looking at plastic. I'm like, what's going on with plastic? Why is plastic running so slow? So I'm looking over here, and I'm like, what's going on? And that's when I think that's when I realized that one's just not running, because that one thought it was petroleum, because there was a little bit of petroleum left in the pipe. And it's kind of weird, but it works. And so now this is going to start kicking in again. Just have to be patient. Here I steal a bunch of steel. Ahaha. What are you doing? I'm stealing. So, my father raised me very well. Taught me to love puns. I'm sorry, if you don't... Puns are wordplay. That's all it is. And puns are awesome. If you don't like puns, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for you. If you can't play with words, being able to play with words means you really understand the language. And that's why puns are very hard to learn in other languages. And that's a sign you can understand another language is if you can make puns and you can understand puns. The first week in my college level Japanese class, which I took with Evan Sensei, wonderful, wonderful Japanese lady, and she there was a number pun concerning ants, and I don't mean as in your auntie, but rather as in ants, as in crawling around red ants or black ants, and we all just looked at her like she'd hit us. I feel bad for her because it was a good pun, really, and we just looked at her like she'd grown a third eye because we didn't get it. Because we're like, why are you... We couldn't appreciate it. She gave more than we were ready for, you know, and it was really too bad because she very nice lady, had a good sense of humor. You could tell that when she told the joke that it kind of broke her heart that we all just kind of went, duh. And, yeah. So here I'm going to have to move the copper and the iron because it's in the way of my my little smelters here, which is too bad. And this is when I accidentally hooked the iron line into the copper bus because I'm a derp. And, because I'm just like, oh, I'll just move it. And, oh, here's the other iron line. Nope. I went, oh, crap. Yeah. Well done, lad. No, not well done. Well derp, lad. And so here I'm going to have to... I have to optimize the feed line, so to speak, for the... I'm out of blue inserters again. Now this thing, you need red belt for this. There is no reason you should not be using yellow belt. And here's where I just go, screw it, we're taking it all. We're taking all the coal. You will not be able to feed this on yellow belt. You just can't. It's not enough. And it's miserable. It's not miserable. It's just one of those things that's like, and it's a huge power drain. I mean, it's just enormous. I'm looking at the pollution. I'm looking at the land. I'm like, I need to go run a radar or something over there. And yeah, just it's not enough. And so I realized I made way too much red belt. I'm gonna make a couple. I need to make a bunch of stuff. And here I'm gonna steal a bunch of the iron. I'll take that, please. So I'm making. I mean, you can't feed the iron quick enough on yellow belt to feed these guys, and you have to do red belt all the way. And here I just get rid of them. Like, what the hell am I using this for? So, and I'm gonna have to do yellow or red belt all the way through here, all the way up, because it doesn't matter about the yellow belt compression. It's all about here. And I'm still not getting enough iron. And that's why I'm actually going to have to start building train stuff, because I need more iron ore. I mean, I'm cranking away there. Look at how much the iron, and I'll do red up to here, and then I'll get the compression going, and it's the saturation is good. But I have power. I have more iron, so I've caught up with my iron. It's great. Just that addition has really helped. And this is when I realize I'm really going to have to do something about. I'm going to do it to the other iron line as well. It's. I'm going to wait till it all kind of the coal kind of feeds through, but it's going to take a while, and I don't know if I have enough iron throughput for... I'd have to put... I think I'd have to put speed modules in... And here I'm getting ready to expand it. I don't expand it yet, but I'm going to have to put speed modules in my mining drills in order to meet the needs of the... in order to meet the needs of the electric furnaces, because they're so much faster. And here I'm like, oh, I'm going to need more, but... Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are wrapping this up. Thank you for joining me for the latest episode of Factorio 4X, your 15-minute Factorio fix. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Have a good night, and bye-bye.